What is up, everybody? It's Moverse TV here today. Apparently, EA is making a new Marvel game with the Iron Man character. So that is pretty interesting. How EA we know very little details about it, but EA is confirmed to be making a Iron Man game developed by EA Motive. I don't know what games they have done before in the past, but the EA Motive team is working on this. It's gonna be single player, third person action adventure game. So that's already some good stuff right there. It sounds like it. Led by Oliver Prolix, I think I'm saying that last name right, who worked on Guardians of the Galaxy game. So that was a good sign right there. That game was pretty good, and he worked on that game. If he's a high profile name who worked on that, then the game should be pretty good. It is currently in pre-production, so it's all pretty good stats so far. Yeah, all I pretty much got to do is use the combat from the actual Avengers game, even though that game was a too well received. I love the characters played fine at least, so have a good story, have the good combat from the Avengers game, and have a good story like how the Guardians of the Galaxy game was, and I think this should be a hit. That should be definitely a hit. So, looking forward to this one. I know we had a time period like especially like during Xbox One and PS4 generation where we had like pretty much no superhero games that was Marvel related. Even though the MCU was very popular at that time period, but there was like no Marvel games whatsoever. The only one was like Spider-Man, and that was it. It was like it was like between like 360 and like this current generation, that whole time period was just like no Marvel superhero games, and I just don't know why. I know Disney was super restrictive, or Marvel was just super restrictive, but they definitely were not putting these games out like that, which is crazy because the MCU was at its biggest. You had the Thanos Infinity Saga going on with MCU, but they released no games, so it was just wild. So yeah, I'm glad we're getting an abundance of Marvel games now, which is I guess they're trying to right their wrongs from that generation because yeah, they had a lot of revenue at that point. Like it's kind of crazy, but I think the last time we did an Iron Man game was on the 360. I think it was multiple Iron Man games. I don't think those games did too well. Yeah, I don't think those games did too well at all. But I think there was a PS4 game, but it was like a VR game. But I don't really count VR stuff. It's like a niche genre of gaming, so we haven't really truly had an Iron Man game since like the 360 generation. So those games aren't that great. So hopefully this is gonna be a good game. Let's see what people gotta say about this. Game of the year 2028. Guardians of the Galaxy combat was a huge turnoff. Hope this isn't lazy as that. What? Somebody didn't like the Guardians of the Galaxy combat? I thought that was fantastic in that game. So, um, led by the guy who worked on the Guardians game, sold. Glad it's a single player and not a third person view game. Guardians of the Galaxy was arguably one of the best games of last year. Very reassuring to see Oliver on board. Okay. Yay, not a PS exclusive. Well, I guess you could say that's a good thing because a lot of these superhero games, a lot of stuff in general, Sony's making sure they get exclusivity rights on. So at least this will be multiplayer at least. Oh no, led by the Guardians of the Galaxy game, are you gonna make Iron Man banter FF in time with NPC and goofy enemies? A lot of people not feeling the Guardians of the Galaxy game. It's kind of weird. A lot of mixed reactions on the Guardians of the Galaxy game in the comment section. They already got Anthem's text, so it should feel good at least. That's another game that didn't do too well either. Anthem, so I don't know if you really compare it to the Anthem game because that game didn't do too well at all. So, um, for those who want the experience now, just get Just Cause 3 and the DLC. Having the boosters and flight suit is so much fun. You know, they made multiple of those Just Cause games, but I don't see people ever like really talk about those games in high regard though. So that's a weird thing right there. That series has been going on for like 4 games, but like people don't really talk about those games like that. So apparently it has been making some type of money for those series to keep going on, but I just never heard anybody give those games any praise at all. Should get the people who worked on the Anthem Mech flying system to do the Iron Man's flying in this game. Okay. Saw EA in depth. You're not fooling me with this one. I should be excited, but EA, okay, we got some EA slander going on. What else has Motive done? I'm not really too familiar with their works are, but We'll see with this new game. These are the okay. These are just, what's up with these comments? Yeah, these comments is kind of weird comments at this point. Gonna keep my expectations in check for this one, EA, since EA is making it. Okay. I mean, you could basically just reskin Anthem core gameplay and already like 50% your way to a good Iron Man game. I mean, if they probably could ever use the assets, I mean, I don't see they're wrong with that either. We see other games that you use the same assets, so save themselves some money by just reusing some of the assets, pretty much. Oh, look, another third-person movie game, which, if it's a great game, is gonna sell like hotcakes. So I don't know why you sell like it's a bad thing. I just want an X-Men and a Black Panther game. I'm begging at this point. But they are making a Black Panther game. An X-Men game will be kind of sick though. Like we haven't had an X-Men game in a long time. I guess if you count the Wolverine game, it kind of counts, but not really. EA is literally the only iffy part about this, but using the same approach as the Guardians of the Galaxy game is a huge W. Very excited to see this in action. Also, they'd be stupid not to use Anthem as a basis for it. Might as well. It's like that game didn't do too well. Only thing people praise about it is that it looks kind of like it was looking pretty much like an Iron Man game to begin with. So just use the shell of that Anthem game and put it into this, and you got a good game right there. At least combat and mechanics wise. Okay, this sounds promising and reassuring. Yeah, so far it sounds pretty good so far. But this is just we don't really see any gameplay or anything, but this sounds like a pretty good template of what you want to make a good Iron Man game be with these different stats right here. So I'm looking forward to it as a big MCU fan, a Marvel fan in general. I think this game sounds like it's gonna be a hit. I mean, but they got the people from Guardians of the Galaxy working on this game, which that was a great game in my opinion. So third person single player. Hopefully, it's not gonna be a big focus on like loot boxes and stuff, nonsense like that. So, looks like that has the potential to be a great game. So, I'm gonna conclude it right here. But definitely want to see your thoughts down below on how you feel about EA making a Iron Man game. We're looking forward to it. Disappointed? Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace.